A very good afternoon from the sports desk. President Cyril Ramaphosa has bestowed national orders on remarkable individuals, and this time sportsmen and women are among them. Sport has in the past shown its power to unite the nation. Springbok captain Kolisi and Banyana coach Desiree Ellis were two recipients of national orders. eNCA sports reporter Percivale Young was there to witness it, and he joins us now from Pretoria. Good afternoon to you, Percy. So receiving an award like this is so special, and despite a tough time for the Springbok captain at the moment, his wife Rachel was in attendance to accept it on his behalf, right?
Yes, good afternoon, Nandi. Indeed, a special day. I think President Cyril Ramaphosa said that sport has a way of inspiring youngsters and people on and off the field. And sadly, Kolisi couldn't be here in person today, and his wife, Rachel Kolisi, had to receive the National Order of eNCA in his absence, obviously, today. And obviously, we know that Kolisi, he injured his leg this past weekend in Durban in that United Rugby Championship match against Munster. Earlier in that match, now, speculation was arrived this past couple of days on what exactly the extent of his injury was. We had the privilege of speaking to Rachel Kolisi earlier today, and she was very diplomatic in her answer as to what exactly happened to him, what the nature of his injury was, and when exactly he had to go for his operation. She mentioned that he went for his op this morning, during the course of this morning, before she arrived here for this event. And one of the questions that I think many South Africans are asking is whether Kolisi will be able to lead this national side, the Springboks, to France later this year. And this is what Rachel had to say. Let's just listen to what she had to say.
I think that's an impossible question to answer, and I think for any players that could be injured, between now and the World Cup, whether it be within the Springbok teams or some of the other teams that are going to be at the World Cup, it's just an impossible thing to answer. So we are believing for the best for every single one of our amazing national players, and really do hope that they are strong and healthy at the World Cup.
Yeah, Percy, I think we're all crossing our fingers and, doing everything we can and hoping that he will be available for the World Cup. But Banyana coach Desiree Ellis was also a recipient on the day for her work in women's football. How did that go?
Indeed, Nandi, the girl from Salt River in Cape Town, a prominent captain from Banyana, and now one of our most notable coaches of Banyana. She's preparing now for a second World Cup with this inspirational team. Obviously, she was joined here today. She's joined by her mother here today at the event. And before we started with this live crossing, President Cyril Ramaphosa just walked past us and he had a few kind words for Desiree Ellis again. In fact, let's speak to her now live. Desiree, it must have been a special moment for you when President Cyril Ramaphosa handed over this National Order of eNCA gold to you this morning.
I was very overwhelmed. I work in a team sport, and I don't work alone. So it's a big thank you to the Banyana players, the staff, and everyone else involved in women's football. Safa, Cecil, coaches that come before, coaches in the league, and players, and most of all people that have been with me on my journey. So a big thank you to them.
You had to come a long way, like you rightfully said. It's not just an award for Desiree Ellis, but for the entire squad. You guys are obviously preparing now for another massive assignment in New Zealand and Australia. How's preparations gone so far?
Really good. We have another camp starting on Monday, just with local-based players for a week, just to work on what we've been working on. Then we have another one in June, where we prepare finally and make the final selection, which is going to be very difficult already. It's already difficult selecting a squad to come to camp, but as a coach, that is what you want.
Just talk to us. We spoke to the SAFA president, Mr. Danny Jordani. Obviously, he mentioned the fact that FIFA only has certain windows for international players to join you. Does that add a bit of more pressure on Desiree Ellis to prepare this side for this World Cup?
It's been a little bit difficult. The January window's been taken away, and the one in June. But our overseas-based players, they've really been working hard. They've set the standard. They've raised the levels. And that's why we're having this camp with a local group of players, just to get them to a little bit of a next level. The players that are working abroad, we follow them. They're doing fantastically. And we're now just trying to push the levels up to get it as close to each other as possible.
While I'm chatting to Desiree Ellis here, I see President Cyril Ramaphosa just interacting with some of the school kids here and at this special day. But Desiree, just to conclude our interview here today, just remind us again the teams you're facing in that group stage in the World Cup. Rather tough teams starting off the campaign against Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden are ranked number 3 in the world. We know of Sweden a lot. We've played them before. They've done fantastically well over the last 2 years, especially at the Olympics as well as the Euros. We know what's coming. We just have to prepare really properly. And it's all about that first game. We play Argentina, and the men have won the World Cup, so surely they want to emulate the men. And then we play Italy, a top power in women's football. Their leagues have really improved. So we're under no illusions what's waiting for us. But, I think each and every group is difficult. But it all depends on that first game, how well we do in that first game. And then, then we continue from there.
Desiree, I have to wrap it up. But please let us in. What were you sharing with President Cyril Ramaphosa when he handed over the award to you?
We just reminded each other of when we met at the Union Buildings, when we came back from AFCON. And he just said, congratulations to myself and the team, and we must continue with the good work that we've been doing.
Desiree, I want to wish you all the best of luck to you and the team while you represent South Africa there at the World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. Thank you so much for your time. All the best of luck. Well, Nandi, there you have it. Desiree Ellis, a recipient of the National Order of Ikamanga Gold. She and Sia Kolisi, one of the more prominent sports women and men who received the awards here today. But for now, it's back to you in studio.
Yeah, Percy, it's always so great to see our game changers in South African sport being celebrated. Thank you so much, Percy. That was eNCA sports reporter Percivale Young sharing some of this morning's action from the National Order ceremony in Pretoria.